first, good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. Regards to your lovely wife, Jenny, there. Yes. Okay. Now, subsidy crisis. Tinubu approves infrastructure support funds for states, and then subsidy palliative NEC asks governors to open social register for poor Nigerians. Now, ex-Lagos deputy governor blames Nigeria's problems on God's anger and corruption. Oh my goodness, God is angry with Nigeria. My goodness. All right then. Now lots more going to be coming your way from there. Obi Christ, insecurity in Nigeria, condemns plateau killings. Those are some of the stories making the rounds. A lot more from there as well. But moving on straight to some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, this time around Africa. Somali refugees in Kenya are threatened by food insecurity. It's one of the stories there. And black women celebrated in new photography exhibition in the UK. And Kenya violent protests sabotaging economy. That's what William Ruto is saying. But what do you think about all that? And in Sudan, fighting in Khartoum intensifies after generals. I'm going to be telling you more about all those. So this man thrown out of Malawi over racist video. Well, it's about time to go stand up for themselves. You cannot let somebody come into your own house and be racist to you. You deal with them one day. Okay, let's see. All right, then. If it was any of us, okay, in their part of the world doing the mating, what do you think is going? The same thing. What do you think is going to happen there? Right now, let's move on straight to some other stories making the round. In Ghana, police on manhunt for group over attack on a bus in northeast region. And government hasn't demonstrated there is no cash to pay suppliers, Apaka said. And child petition in Yoko over private companies collecting taxes on GRA's behalf. And we'll need Alan as minister under Baumia's presidency. Yandi MP is saying, well, they think that Alan is good to be a minister, but not a president. He can serve under the vice president now. That is Dr. Baumia. But what do you think about all that? Lots more going to be coming away from there. But let's move on straight. It's now 11 o'clock in the UK front. Well, Labour won one of the seats in the by-election that took place yesterday. Conservative won by a little winning margin of 420 something. But this is a seat where they had a majority of 20,000 plus. Now, it was Labour's to lose. Okay, they could have won it hands down, but it is all because of the mayor's plan of this ULEZ or introduction of the ULEZ. Now, it doesn't mean that Labour has to sit back and then say, you know what, let's have a relook at that particular action by the mayor, or would it still go on with it and then come next year, should the general election take place, then what happens is is Ladi going to vote against Labour because of the ULEZ? People are saying, now look, it is a difficult time. It's a good idea, but this is not the time for it. But you think that is the way forward. Right? Rishi Sunak is of the view that, you know what, the fact that we still maintain to hold on to this seat, Oxbridge, retain this Oxbridge seat, means that, well, the election is not concluded yet. Come the general election, people will be voting for Conservatives. But what do you think about all that? Those of you on other platform and wherever you are, I hope that you are enjoying it. Now, Putin may still seek revenge on Prigozhin, CIA chief is saying, but that is not our concern, is it? Putin is the ultimate apostle of payback, William Burns told Aspen. Well. And then Zelensky sacks Ukraine's ambassador to UK. Vadim Pristaiko was dismissed after criticizing the president's response to a row over military aid. And chip giant delays U.S. production in blow to Biden. Well, a lot more going to be coming away from there. It is on Star Radio UK. Now let's go enjoy some music while we prepare the ground for Mr. Lionel Koiki to join in to bring you updates from Nigeria. It is Star Radio UK. I am Archie. Stay tuned. Okay, let's take this tune from Shadrach Mensah, and it says, "Beyond Me." He looked beyond me. Who? God looked beyond me and showed me mercy. Enjoy it. I'll be with you.
so we're getting ready again for the Star Radio UK, the morning show. As we get ready, I hope you're ready with me, my listeners. Our listeners are lórí ètò Abiodun Lexi. Okay, we're ready to roll out again. Sure, we went ready. I bet you ready. Everybody's ready. Is you ready? That's a darapọ̀ mọ́. That's a darapọ̀ mọ́. Lórí ètò tiwantiwa. Tiwantiwa, oh, tiwantiwa. All right, let's call. 5 minutes past. We're running a bit late. Okay, we'll go along to Cabo, as we always say here, this is where we talk about we talk about the news in Nigeria and all that is happening. Keep the comment coming. I might pick some of your comments. Mommy Esther, happy Friday. Nasruddin Abiodun, Mr. Sheyi Mukinyi, N800 ready. One agbado ti wọ́n ní Nigeria báyìí. Ọlọ́run máa ṣàánú wa o. Allah wa báyìí o. Mommy Esther ni we are fully ready. Jẹ́ ká pe Achi báyìí. Tí gbogbo yín bá ti ní ẹ ti ready. Kí ló wá ń ṣe Koiki tí kò náà ti ready. Èmi ló ń dúró dè lẹ́nu ọ̀nà báyìí. Ẹ já wọlé síbẹ̀. All right, so let's close this because we download àwọn kankan ọdẹ máa fa system yẹn kó slow there. So one UK authority say they may be able to retrieve ìborí yẹn náà jẹ́ owó díẹ̀ o. Wọ́n náà fẹ́ gba almost £100 million lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ from the Nigerian former state governor James Ibori. Bó làwọn people báwo lọ ṣe jí àwọn owó yìí náà? Báwo ni UK gan ṣe jẹ́ kọ́kọ́ gbogbo owó ìjáde? Ó lágbára o. Wọ́n àṣàánú àwọn èèyàn tó wà nílé o. Kódà CNN gan náà máa ń rìpọ́tì. CNN Stephanie report on the skyrocketing cost of Nigerian living. Wàhálà wà báyìí o. Cost of living. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń sáré pé Achi. Ọlọ́run jọ̀ọ́. Our people are really suffering because of the negligence of this failed country called Nigeria. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ kẹ̀? Kí ló tó ṣe sign me out? Pàdé ṣe àwọn ọmọ ọ̀dà ti padà.
You enjoyed the program this morning. It's going to start ready. Okay, it's about to come over the hour at a time. What do you want this morning? What? They always bring you the best in everything. Right? It's my singular honor now. To you, my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Lively Koiki, aka the White Line. Good morning to you, and how are you this morning?
Well, it's a bit sunshine out there. Good morning to you, Mr. Achi. Good morning, Frank. Good morning to David West. Good morning to all our listeners. The most important, the presenter. From the morning till evening, the 7 days on the network, the Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As you were giving the report on the traffic, I was actually myself looking at what the paper is saying, which corresponds to someone asking you rather, what is going to be like when it comes to the weekend. There is going to be a lot of disruption, in the travel, according to, the TFL. The TFLs always advise us, to plan your travel, especially for the weekend. The most important thing is, last week, I had someone that traveled through Stansted, and there was a lot of disruption when it comes to, when they were going and when they were coming back. And that is because the ASFA are on strike, the RMT. So on the 29th of July, the London Underground services will close early on Sunday. They are advising customers to complete their journey by 7 p.m. That's 1900 hours. So we'll be telling you more about that. But for now, it seems that the traffic is in Nigeria where the conversation is going to be held. We are fully connected with about almost 5 different stations that have connected with us this morning, from the sister broadcast, from Twitter to Instagram to TikTok as well, where many Nigerians have decided that that is their new home. But for now, it is the Star Radio UK. At 10 minutes past, it is the weekend. And I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, let's be so lively quickly. For you, I'm not planning serious. I'm actually here in the South Studios. Indeed, I'm just from Nigeria. Can't get it anywhere. You have to be on the platform to listen to it. And as we said, we're checking all the necessities that you need. All right, then, now let's move on straight. Let's crack on to the stories making the round this morning. I think some of the okay, let's start from the president. Let's start from the president. Now, a video of Tinubu promising fuel price reduction has been surfaced online and made high. Now, the question is, why this? And why is it an old video that he made, or what?
Well, this was the video that the president made just before the campaign of the election campaign, rather, when the election campaign was going on. A video of the President Bola Tinubu promising fuel price reduction has resurfaced online amid the hike. The viral video of the President Tinubu campaign to reduce the price of the fuel upon his assumption as the president has surfaced online. Tinubu actually made this, during one of his campaign in Abeokuta in Ogun State, the southwest of Nigeria, on January 25th, 2023. It could be heard in the video promising the crowd an easy life under his leadership. He actually spoke in Yoruba, so that literally means that more Nigerians might not understand what he's saying, but it seems that that has been translated to what Nigerians can understand. It went further. On Tuesday, the price of fuel has gone up from from almost 197 to 617 as we speak right now. Also, the international media are also picking up on the situation in Nigeria, and the report is coming from the CNN as well. The skyrocketing cost of living in Nigeria as the fuel prices soared to record high after the controversial fuel subsidy. Let's listen just about a minute from that report.
Prices in Nigeria are about to reach their highest level ever, 78 cents per litre. This comes 2 months after the president scrapped a popular yet very expensive fuel subsidy. Of course, with higher fuel prices comes higher inflation. All of this in Africa's largest economy. Stephanie Busari looks at how Nigerians are coping with this very difficult situation.
The fuel subsidy is gone. It was a moment that caught many off guard. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu accelerating ahead, announcing his first major policy at his inauguration in May, triggering panic buying at petrol stations, with fuel prices tripling immediately and soaring to record highs.
Soaring to record high, and that also seems to be having a good impact on the government. I'll come back again to you in the studio, because even these, which is meant to be the most cheapest meal around the world, has gone up, which is the corn.
Now, behind Mr. Koiki, we can see
neighbors. They don't use concrete men.
There, and the question is, how are people this morning able to afford that? And they have the means to do so. But interestingly, the president decided to investigate, to force the palliative the 8 grand 8,000 naira that they were going to be giving to.
That's about $10.
$10 are going to give monthly to the poor in the society. Now, the question that we've been asking ourselves, how were these people selected? What data do they have on them? And would it actually go to the right people? You know, before even that policy hit the ground, we had people who were complaining that, look, there's going to be a tendency that people are going to actually steal this amount of money, break it like no man's business. But this morning, we have them saying once again that, well, that money is going to be, government is looking at, well, transferring these subsidies into people, the poor households' accounts. Now, the question is, how many of them have got an account? And what kind of account are they talking about? Is it talking about maybe the money wallet that they have on their phone? Is that what they're talking about? What are they talking about here?
Well, let's take you back, one step behind. Remember that when the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, also had a similar situation in his hand that, they end up trying to deliver to the poorest in Nigeria what it comes to, support. But it seems that is not going to happen this time around, because what the governors are saying is that the planned cash transfer to the poor household, they are not going to be using the old list that the former president Muhammadu Buhari was using. That literally means that maybe there's something not right with the previous list. I don't know, but let's go further into the story. The National Economic Council, which comprising the 36 state governors and the vice president, had a meeting yesterday, but the state government to implement the cash transfer program, whether it's going to be through, some of their bank, which most Nigerians do not have, especially those in the rural area. We saw that during the former president, it was more of moving the money to the rural area than trying to send it when it comes to bank transfer. It said states that generate the social register will better reflect the number of the vulnerable Nigerians to be reached with such cash transfer or the palliative scheme. But this came on the heels of the plan by the government to roll out its intervention measures to cushion the effect of the hardship. But the problem is, how do you identify these individuals? It seemed that Buhari was able to do so, but that is not going to be what they're going to be using anymore. How they're going to now manage who is who when it comes to the poorest among us in the society, according to the governor of Ogun State, that Abiodun told the State House correspondent after the NEC meeting that was held by the Vice President Shetima and all the governors. Abiodun spoke alongside the Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, Bauchi State Bala Mohammed, and the acting CBN governor after Emefiele have been removed. But they are not going to go in accordance to what they have before. He said, generated register is aimed at enhancing the integrity and the reliability of the National Social Register. But it seems that that list is not going to be used. And this is the problem. If we are not using a continuous list, we now have a new list. In UK, for example, every local government have who is who when it comes to the data of support, whether for benefit, whether for medical, whether for schooling. But Nigeria do not have this data, and the one that was used by the previous government won't be used by this new government. And this is why we continue to ask, who is who in Nigeria, and how many are we, when sometimes we're told there's 200 million Nigerians, because it doesn't seem to be a right data.
Now, interestingly, listeners Star Radio UK, it is quite a very, very dicey situation there. But the first question I want to find out from there again is that old list. When was that compiled? Do you have a clue?
Well, the old list, like you mentioned, was compiled, during the period of Buhari. The decision to adopt the state-generated cash register means that the governor are dumping the existing National Social Register, which indicates the millions of Nigerians that are in that bracket. This has captured 61 million vulnerable Nigerians that are eligible. The government already have these 61 million, but even out of the 61 million, Bola Tinubu can only afford the 8,000 that is now going under review to 12 million. The question then is, what happened to the rest of the 50 million in that National Social Register? The governors explained that they proposed that each state must now begin towards implementing a cash transfer program based on their own social register from the state, not from the federal.
Well, this is Star Radio UK. Tones again. Hey, good morning. It's a morning, White Lion. It's been a while, Tones. I hope you're doing very, very well. And we're happy to have this discussion. But listen, it's Star Radio UK. I'm thankful Nigeria with people like me for again on North Studios. I'm actually here in the South Studio. And I'm looking at the service making around this morning. Well, interestingly, let's move on straight to so something to do with this. But do you think that the new list that they're going to compile is it going to be able to capture the vulnerable properly? You have faith in the system that, oh, definitely, with what it's going to do, they'll be able to capture all those who are vulnerable in the society. Yeah.
Well, let's go straight to Ondo State, where we have one of our correspondents, giving us an update that the price of the fuel as at this morning is 613 naira. That is it is AY King. It's one of our correspondents, in the state. Let's use Ondo State, as the example when it comes to this. Ondo State has how many local government? We have about 18 local government in Ondo State. We have the Akoko Northeast, Akoko Northwest, Akoko Southeast, Akoko Southwest, Akure North, Akure South, Eshe, Edo, Idonre, Ifedore, Ilaje. Ilaje has a good crude oil that has been extracted for decades, and that doesn't goes into the government coffer, because we knew that after the Tompolo security outfit stopped the vessel. The question then is, how do we put in the measures? How do we identify those in Okitikpupa, Odigbo, Ondo East, Ondo West, Oshe, and Owo, to be able to know how many of them are poor in each local government? Remember that the local government in Ondo State, across the 774 local government, for decades, they've not been able to work in hand to make sure that those are going to be used in those local government will be able to give us the record that we are talking about today, because it has always been a compromised system by most of the governors.
Okay, let's see. Because there's one of the stories that you put, and that is talking about the fact that the NEC, subsequently the NEC has asked governments to open social register for poor Nigerians. If they are able to capture it, that will be very, very good. It will be very interesting, because the needy in society will be catered to. Because we know that from time immemorial, the needy have been there. And we, those who are doing well, who have got the financial muscle, are the ones who are supposed to support them. Because we don't do so, then desperate times comes in, and they have to take desperate measures, and that results in all the stuff that we see. But we hope that the politicians are going to get it right. Right? Whatever they are giving them, can that afford buying a whole, is it a bowl of corn or maize? I don't know. It's quite a worrying thing there. But listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is the favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, good morning to you, man of God, as well. Now let's move on to the corn issue. The corn rises to 800 naira per mudu as subsidy remover farmers Nigeria economy. The government is doing it to see whether, doing that palliative and all that stuff, maybe we're pushing the weight or for the poor in society. But if you talk about that mudu, how big is the mudu, the can, or what weight is it, John?
Well, according to the report, 3 weeks ago, the same model of corn was, is now sold at 800 naira, representing over 33.3% increment from 600 naira. These can be used for so many things. When we talk about corn, even those of us in UK and across the world, some of us have, cereals in the house. You will need the corn to be able to produce it in the large quantity. The skyrocketing price of the corn, one of the most popular grains consumed by Nigerians and also used for the animal feed, signal hunger as citizens are now grappled with the hardship occasioned by the removal of the fuel subsidy. During the 69th birthday of the colloquium in 2021 of the current President Bola Tinubu, they counselled the federal government on recruiting 50 million youth into the military. Guess what? He also recommended they should be fed with agbado, the Yoruba word for corn. Whether Tinubu is still going to go in line with that, trying to bring, maybe if you take me just for about 30 seconds, because I want us to listen to the clip of the video that end up coming into play when it comes to the music that was released after that. But let's come back to the question you asked. What is the model? What does it look like? Well, we probably say, a bucket of paint, in the format. But one thing we want to ask is that, we are under the policy and we are competing with the armed robbers, the bandits to recruit from the youth. He's suggesting that the president then should recruit 50 million youth into the army. What are they going to eat? Cassava, agbado, and we will grow it. How that is going to happen, we know that the government have declared state of emergency when it comes to the agriculture sector. But subsequently, the agbado became a symbol of Mr. Tinubu's campaign, with many of his supporters now being addressed as agbado food soldier. But in a few weeks into his government, the corn gradually became even unaffordable to so many of his supporters that voted for Tinubu. And we're talking about less than 8 million Nigerians out of the 200 million. When we look at the total number of those that voted across the three major parties, you realize that they are not even up to 50 million Nigerians.
Well, this is quite an interesting one there. Starr in the UK. You're trying to just get some audio date for us there. But interesting. That's what let me know what you really think. But he said, well, unless all these youth, about 50 million of them, enlist them into the military, and they said, okay, that's a good idea, but how do we defend for them? So you know what? You can give them cassava and corn or agbado, as they call it there. And he said that even the president taking office, wow, it's not up to 2 months yet. The 29th will be 2 months. But already the price is high. Now, the question is, can Nigeria actually go back to the place where they were producing for themselves and having enough to actually sell to other countries in the sub-Saharan region? Or we got into a point of no return where nothing can be done about it? But let's go to your meeting. Is it for Gary? Is it for beans? For what? Is it for Eba? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans? Eba, Gary, beans. Eba, Gary, beans. Agbado, cassava, corn, Agbado, cassava, corn, Eba, Gary, beans. Eba, Gary, beans. Agbado, cassava, corn, recruit 50 million youths. Eba, Gary, beans. It's going here. Eba, Gary, beans. It's going here. Well, you had it there, Eba, Gary, recruit 50 million. We're still waiting whether the president will recruit 50 million youth into the Nigerian military. And what are they going to be eating? Eba, which is cassava, agbado, which is corn. But the model today is gone up 33.3%. And that literally means that more Nigerians will not be able to drink the pap, or we call it ogi in the Yoruba language. Well, it is already there. It is 29 from the House of London. You want to go on and go on and on and on. But now, in the background yesterday, let's talk about the football there as well, or early this morning. I don't know whichever it is. Yes, but the time differences. Yes, but Nigeria women or ladies happen to hold the Canadian counterparts to a goalless. Well, Nigeria could have won. Because the lot of it that I won, I thought, no, Nigeria could have won this, I could have won it. But it's the first bit. Is that the first time that Nigeria has represented, the ladies have represented Nigeria on the world front when it comes to the Women's World Cup? Yeah.
Well, it's not the first time that we are traveling to represent Nigeria when it comes to the World Cup. It has always been one thing that so many Nigerian women have worked hard. It's just that the country itself is not really supporting. Yesterday we were talking about their pay, but it seems that they've been able to bring the the glory, at least by not allowing Canada to outshine them. The time now in New Zealand is just coming up to 10:30 p.m. local time. The game was played about some 7 hours ago, and that literally means that Nigeria Super Falcon were able to pin down the Canada to a 0-0 in Melbourne with an impressive performance from the Nazadoze, who is also the team's captain. She was crucial to the team's goalless draw against Canada in their 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup Group B opening. Nazadoze put up a 5-star display, capped it up by saving even a penalty kick that was taken by the Canada captain, 40-year-old Christina Sinclair. But the 22-year-old performance secured the Nigerian female team a point in the Super Falcon, the third meeting with the Olympic champion Canada at the Senior Women's World Cup. After the 3 encounters, the Falcon have yet to lose to Canada. That literally means that the Nigerian team are drawn 2, won a match against the Canada, and we are now going to wait for the next game to come up. But as we said yesterday, it seems that the Nigerian Football Association might probably start thinking about paying them so that there will be concentration in the next game.
Well, we hope that they do something to them to encourage them, encourage them. Because we find money for all rubbish things. I mean, things that actually does not actually speak well of us. We are able to do so. But what do you think is going to go on? So coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, let me go to your man because he's got a picture behind the scenes. So he knows the person that he has put there. Whose picture is it? Whose picture is behind you, Yomi?
Well, that is the former governor of one of the most oil-rich states in Nigeria, and that is Ibori. Remember that Ibori was arrested in UK, and he ended up, spending time, in the custody. We've seen Ibori, lining quickly with the new president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I saw him in the Aso Rock in the presidential villa. But it seems that the UK government is now saying, the UK authorities rather say, they may be able to retrieve $129 million, equivalent to 100 million pounds, from the Nigerian former state governor, James Ibori, according to the Reuters. It is believed that he stole about $165 million from the oil-rich Delta state. He was jailed here in UK in 2012 for money laundering offenses.
Now, now that he's back in Nigeria, and you were saying that, well, there are some pictures showing that he has been to Aso Rock to meet the president. Doesn't mean that he's been pardoned, whatever. So now he has good rapport with the current president, and therefore, whatever the UK is trying to do, the UK authorities are trying to do, to bring whatever money. So he cannot come to the UK again, and that money has been confiscated by the UK authorities. They're looking at they're going to release that to Nigeria, right?
Well, the picture of Ibori surfaced on the 2nd of June, 2023. Just in, according to that news then, Tinubu meets Ibori and Wike and Makinde at the State House. He has served his term. He has returned back to Nigeria, where he's presently living. He's now a big man, as we all know. That is what happened when, people that steal the money, they end up going back, and then they've come back to become a big man. But the president, Tinubu, meeting the immediate past governor of the Rivers State, Nelson Wike, and the former governor of Delta State between the 1999 to 2007, where Ibori was able to steal to the tune of $165 million of the state coffer. What was the meeting? We do not know. There's no details yet. But what we can understand is that Ibori is still relevant when it comes to the political terrain in Nigeria. Some might say that since he has served his term, we might just let him be. But it seems that the UK government still wants to get back what is called 100 million pounds from what was stolen from the Governor Ibori. Ibori is contesting the money as well here in UK through his legal team. But how far that is going to go, we will continue to give an update when the news pops out again.
Okay, let's start already. We hope that it is for the states. Money has to come back to the country so that they can do it for that purpose. But it's all coming away from start. One other story before I leave this live to continue with. Hey, now, ex-Lagos deputy governor blames Nigeria's problem on God's anger and corruption. That's quite an interesting one because we are religious people. Let me put it that way. And as we say, religion is the opium of the masses. So if you speak a bit of religion there, the people will say, ha. Now, do you agree? What do you think about the statement that this governor has made? When we know exactly somebody robbing us, money that has been given to people that should be used for a particular thing, they are failing to do that. And we say, you know what? It's God. It's God who is angry with us, and that's why all these things are done.
Well, this is an individual that seems to know the present President Bola Tinubu very well. I mean, she was the first elected deputy governor of the Lagos State, known as Alaja Sinatu Ojikutu, has blamed the problems of Nigeria on God's anger, falsehood, wickedness to one another, and corruption. She was a big, outspoken individual before the campaign of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as somebody that knows her very well, knows him very well, and they've worked together. But it seems that many Nigerians have always stated that we tend to put all our problems in the hands of God, because it seems that is the only way that we can relieve our pain. Let's go into it a little bit. Ojikutu said God was really, really angry with Nigeria because the nation had decided to follow falsehood. Falsehood has lived in the minds of Nigerians, and as many Nigerians are still thinking that if nothing is done, we can pray to God to accept those that have stole money that is meant for development of the country. So Ojikutu said God was really angry with Nigeria because the nation had decided to follow the falsehood, adding, we are worshiping too many deities that are not even God. The former deputy governor, in the statement that was made available to journalists in Lagos on Thursday yesterday, also stated that Nigerians are wicked towards their neighbors.
Okay, so when we cannot, somebody says you cannot carry your own burden, then you find somebody to blame. That this seems to be one of the ways, this one is because we have all sinned and we come short of the glory of God. God is angry with us. Yes, but you see blatantly, a contract has been awarded to somebody to go and do that, and whatever they do, they take a chunk of that money out of it, and whatever what project that is supposed to be taking place, they put it up, whatever it is, and the next moment, it doesn't last time, and therefore we don't get value for money. The next moment, everything is collapsed, and then we have to restart it again. We will blame it on God, right? Okay, let's continue that way. But let's start already because for you. Now, the government has been able to release, I don't know how they are doing with everything that the difficulty and the challenges that they are facing, funds for some projects in the country as well. So somebody will say that, well, the government is not doing that as it is, because Tinubu thinks that some projects have to go on, so we have to find a way. What are some of the projects they are talking about there?
Well, when we talk about project, and infrastructure, is a big problem in Nigeria, and even the African Development President Akeredolu stated during the preparing for the inauguration of Bola Tinubu that it's going to take 300 years for Nigeria to get to what we can call a proper standard society. But as we continue to monitor, the subsidy, it seems that subsidy crisis again. Bola Tinubu, the president, have now approved infrastructure support fund for most of the states. The president has approved the establishment of Infrastructure Support Fund, ISF, for the 36 states. For the state, part of the measures to cushion the effect of the petrol subsidy removal. In a statement by his spokesman, Dele Alake said, the approval was disclosed at the monthly meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee yesterday in Abuja. He also went to say that the new fund would enable the state to intervene and invest in critical areas of transportation, including farm to the market, road improvement, agriculture, livestock, and ranching solution. So what they're trying to do is probably to make sure that the road network from the farm to the market, can be opened up quickly so that those produce do not get damaged before it gets to the market. I was looking at the Twitter handle of the government in exile of the Biafra Simon Ekpa this morning, and in the other part of the southeast, the road was so bad that the motorbike called Okada was carrying a coffin because the ambulance cannot get to that particular area, so they have to put the coffin tied onto the Okada and move the dead body out of that particular location. This is how terrible the roads are. Even the dead body cannot get out to get a proper burial in the state.
Honestly, listeners, you have to help us out here. 11:40 the time, Star in the UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. P2OB is also decrying insecurity in Nigeria and condemned plateau killings. 19th of July 2023, P2OB saying that James Abraham, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, during the 2023 election, P2OB on Wednesday, decried the incessant attacks by gunmen in Plateau State and other parts of the country, and is going on. Now, with the assumption of Tinubu to office, almost 2 months ago, has there been a fall in insecurity in the country, or is this rising up, or is it stagnant where it is? Can you give us some?
Well, the security situation has not literally come down. Rather, it has gone up, just as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, P2OB, stated that the killings in Plateau State needs to be condemned. Looking at Obi celebrating his birthday on Wednesday, spoke at the Rayfield Government House in Jos while addressing the state governor, Saliba Mufwang. The Labour Party presidential candidate said he had chosen to visit Plateau State on the occasion of his birthday because he decided to visit the internal display person in Mangu to show to the support. I mean, imagine Nigerians are no longer living in their territory, living in their community because of the insurgency, the terrorism that is happening. And what we can only hope is that the new NSA boss, Nuru Ribadu, the chief of staff, and the rest of the chief of security will be able to curtail some of this atrocity that is making Nigeria really, really unsafe place as we speak right now. But in terms of the total numbers of people that have died, from estimate, we're talking about close to 1,000 Nigerians have died since the inauguration of the new president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Well, is it really enough? Or is this honeymoon over? You want to know more? Put your comments there and continue to stay with us. We'll tell you more. But it is Star Radio UK. This is Olaimi Koiki, who's going to bring you the rest of the story. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Archie. 43 minutes past 11, and we have less a little more time. But it is 2 years today that Chief Dr. Sunday Igboho was stopped in Benin Republic on his way to his family to Germany. The reason for that was because the former president under the DSS, Afunaya, have decided to put a stop so that Igboho would not be able to travel out of the continent to other parts after the invasion and the killing of 2 individuals in his house on the 1st of July, which was just 72 hours before the mega rally that he and the Professor Adebanji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination, put together. So 2 years down the line, Igboho also was able to launch the Yoruba Home Media, which is part of the media campaigner for the Yoruba Self-Determination. The inauguration took place yesterday. And one thing that was really, really said that reflect back to Ojikutu, the former governor of Lagos State, is what the leader of the self-determination struggle, Professor Adebanji Akintoye, actually said. He went further to say that truth shall always prevail. It does not matter how long it takes. As we continue to monitor what is happening as well with the Biafra, we will give more update because it seems that there is too much pressure back to back, as there is now countdown. We are less than 9 days before the 2 weeks total lockdown of that particular state as well. So we will monitor that on the Star Radio UK network, as we say. Now, let's come back to the rest of the news that is trending. We talked about Akeredolu. Akeredolu is currently not really doing very well, but it seems that, the monarch in Ondo State, we're talking about the rulers that are there in his own state, are now holding a prayer section for the ailing governor. According to the report coming from Ondo State, the monarch in Ondo State, under the auspice of D130 Crown Obas, yesterday organized a prayer session for the ailing governor of the state, Rotimi Akeredolu, who had been sick for some months and has been flown abroad for medical treatment. So let's come back again to see the rest of the news as we head into the social media. Adam Olamilekan, British is one of the Nigerian problem. We are not the same. End Nigeria now to save life. And is actually responding to a particular video where the man was saying that during the Lugard era, the invasion of not allowing the military to get to the north was Lugard agenda as well. Let's take you through some of the other news that is trending this morning. Igbo is really trending. WTF is trending in Lagos. Not too sure what that means or what is it all about, but all I can say is that Peter Gregory Obi was at the Enugu State Tax Office to pay his tax, but somehow his birthday continued. Peter Obi is genuinely loved by all the sundry, except from the children of the hate. Well, it seems maybe that's the reason why that is actually trending. Let's take a look at more other trending. David Odoye is a journalist, an investigative one. It seems that he had problem arriving into the immigration in Zimbabwe, where he was stopped for 7 hours or thereabout. He was allowed to fly out of the country without allowing entry, but it seems that the government of Zimbabwe decided to allow the world to know that he's seeking an asylum, even though he stated in his own Twitter handle that this is not known to anybody. I mean, this is something known to everybody after he was part of those that were involved in the NSAS in 2020. Intelligence got to him that his life was at threat. He flew out of Nigeria, but it seems that Ghana gave him that permit to stay in there. So he's not using a Nigerian passport, according to him. He's using a Ghanaian passport, and the Ghanaian passport also have visas across the country. But while he's not been able to allow to travel as a Ghanaian citizen holder passport to Zimbabwe, which is still the same West African country, is something that he said the Ghanaian authority are now looking into, because he would not be the first person that would not be allowed to get a landing into the country as well. So what else is trending? Ganduje is really trending. I'm not sure why Taliban is trending, but it seems that Kaduna is trending as well. And the last one is the Naira is really trending, as 1,090 Naira today will give you £1, or should I say £1 will give you 1,090, and in terms of the dollar exchange, in the black market is about 853 Naira to a dollar. Star Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio, but without coming back, let's read from Reno Omokere. Very good one from him all the time, because he's one of the members of the PDP, and he's gone further with quite a lot. I don't know how how he was able to put this together, but let's try and read some of them. If you want the Naira to appreciate in value, do these 20 things. Number one, instead of the MTN and the Airtel or Etisalat, use Glow. Well, maybe that's for advert, I don't know. Instead of using Mercedes and Range Rover or Honda, why not buy Innocent Moto? Why not fly the Air Peace over the Air France, KLM, and the Lufthansa? When you're banking at First Bank, UBA, GTB, and the Zenith over Sambic, watch Arise TV and channels and NTA over the multi-choice DSTV. Buy Dangote and Ibeto Cement and avoid the Chinese brand. Watch and buy Enyimba FC, Canopilla, instead of you watching Manchester United, Barcelona, PSG, and Napoli. And the next one is buy the music of Nigerian origin from streaming sites instead of downloading from the foreign artists. And it went on and on and on. And this one I think is much interesting for those that want to drink over the weekend. Drink palm wine over champagne and NSC and the Scottish whiskey and as well the Irish cream. So why not take a palm wine instead of those other alcoholic drink as well? Star Radio UK, I'll come back now to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
It's a very good which I agree with him there. And then let me patronize our staff now, but the question is, are we doing our best? I mean, are we bringing the best in us all, cutting corners, quick, and then go? And then when you compare it again, why do I have
the standard?
Yeah. Wow, let's start really again. I don't know. Have they come out with what is happening to him at all? Have there been any update about his health? Or all that we know is that he's still abroad. I don't know which country he is in though.
Well, from what we know is he's not doing very well. The rumor out there is also stating that he's bedridden at the moment. Likewise, he's in Germany where he has been taking medical treatment from now. They were trying to hide it at some point, but there was no way you could hide somebody that is not doing very well, especially as a state governor that needs to attend functions and different roles, because he didn't want to leave the position to the deputy, which is always the problem. I mean, I don't know why they end up working together to get to that position, but when it comes to leaving that position temporarily and allow somebody else to take over, that is where the fall apart comes, because what we heard from those in Ondo State is that even the deputy has a very, very big ambition to probably become the governor, but he has to wait until the governor either comes back, which we pray, or he will have to contest at his own appropriate time. But right now, Akeredolu is not doing very well, and we hope he can get back on his feet as quickly as possible.
Our thoughts is a speedy recovery. And then 2 years on, after Sunday Golo was stopped at Benin. Now, after that, so what is the status now? Is it that everything is sorted? He's now free, living in Benin, and then can he leave the country if he doesn't want to? I mean, he can't. I wouldn't never advise him to come to Nigeria, not at the moment. Or can he leave Benin to other countries? Is he free to do that, or is still under control, some sort of control that he still has to be in Benin?
Well, that is where the diplomatic tie between the two countries plays out. Remember that the two countries were trying to find out who is Igboho from the Benin Republic. The Nigerian government were portraying him as somebody else, but all that was trashed out in the court in Benin Republic, because the rule of law plays out. They've been able to give him the temporary accommodation to stay in Benin Republic. But because it is still got to do with the diplomatic tie between Nigeria and Benin Republic, because Nigeria was the one that made the request, not just if Igboho has traveled through Ghana, it would have faced the same, consequence of being stopped. If he has gone through Syria alone, it would have been the same thing. But this is the same route that, even the Bola Tinubu traveled out, during the time that Abacha was trying to kill him, including so many other individuals like that. So Igboho was not running away because he's a criminal. He was running away because his life was really under a threat. And the question you ask is, what is going to happen now? The diplomatic tie will continue as the negotiation to get him to be lifting the ban on the embargo on him, as compared to those that are saying that maybe Igboho should ask forgiveness from Bola Tinubu. And the question is, forgiveness for a crime he hasn't committed, or what? Igboho needs to be given the opportunity to travel to wherever he wants to travel, and if he feels that he wants to go to Nigeria, that will be his own prerogative, as against those that are saying he should even abandon the Yoruba nation and return back home. And the question is, even Nigeria as home right now is extremely hot, and somebody like that will probably have over 10,000 people in his house trying to be fed every blessed day, even though he's doing as much as he can outside the territory of his base in Ibadan. For the last 2 years, Igboho has solved so many problems as what we call citizen advice that is no longer in Nigeria, which he has been doing when it comes to people that have been marginalized, when it comes to people that buy land, people that have other issues. And some of those issues, he was able to resolve them even in Turkey, when someone got in touch with us that his life was really on a threat by another group of people. Igboho intervened, and we were able to stop the threat to the life of this individual in Turkey.
Now, sometime this week, we had a northern leader talking about Nnamdi Kanu, saying that it would be wrong for the president to fall for the threats and everything and appeals by the High Court or those in the southeast. What have they said about Sunday?
Well, the southeast, the northern part of the country, I'm sure will be monitoring what step Bola Tinubu will be taking. Remember that both of them are from Yoruba side. Bola Tinubu is not a Yoruba president, but a Nigerian president. Bola Tinubu hasn't said much when it comes to those agitating for the right to self-determination, which is their inalienable right. But the northern groups, as at the time that Igboho was moving the campaign trail of the rally from state to state, what we got from Yahya Bello, the governor of Kogi State, was that they were really, really concerned that the message Igboho was taking to each of the states would quickly resound in the heart and minds of the Yoruba people, and that could backfire the Yoruba politicians where they will never be listened to anymore. And those were part of the reasons why Igboho was stopped, from performing his civic right when it comes to the rally that was meant to be held in Lagos State. 72 hours before that rally, his house was attacked on the 1st of July. 19 days after that, it was stopped again in Benin Republic. 2 years down the line, Igboho is still standing firm and saying, well, if I've lost everything, I might as well just say Yoruba nation is the only solution to some of the problems, and we don't need to fight about this. This can be dialogue, which is what the Professor Adebanjo Akintoye is putting together by putting those elders that will be traveling to meet the president anytime soon when they have the time to visit the president. And probably by that visit, they will table the Igboho case in terms of lifting the embargo on him.
Let's see what. But at least Dr. Chisande Igboho, all the best there. I do say it all the time. He's a down-to-earth person, because I remember talking to him, speaking to him on the phone. I was with Yomi, and then I think he called, and then he said, "Oh, you actually," and then we spoke, and I can see that he's down to earth. Now, it's not somebody who would just like that and say whatever, but he was just standing up for his people. What has he done wrong? To be apologize for standing up for his people. So he just be quiet and let the people be marginalized and continue to be killed and destroy their wealth and everything. That is up to you. I wanted to answer that question for yourself. But it is already okay. You have to let Yomi go, because I know that he spent a lot of time this morning. Yomi, before you go.
Well, it is a weekend that is going to be a long one, as the holiday kickstart today across the household in England, Wales, and Scotland. And that literally means that, the weekend will be very busy. There's a lot of activities that will be going on as well over the weekend. But tomorrow, make sure you stay tuned to Star Radio UK. But for now, Archie takes you through the rest of the program. I'll be back on Monday morning. May Nigeria not happen to us.
AJ, how are you? Nice to meet you, sister. And how you doing? Ready to...
Wow, that was a long one. Mokiwe Gwalen can say, one in Ondo State, 630 naira for the crude oil or petrol the running there. Nigeria jaga jaga, Nigeria jugo jugo, Nigeria weary. Nigeria is gone. Anyway, I just can't end the program here. I might not come back straight away because the children are going to be back anytime soon, but we'll probably leave our broadcast till later in the evening. I think we should do that. We don't feel already today. So, Mokin Comrade Plan B and the rest of our listeners and viewers from around the world. So, I'll be back later in the evening when I've done a lot of other things. But for now, let's enjoy the one that we've done already. Listen to it, digest it. Nigeria is just what it is. Anybody praying for Nigeria, you're wasting your time. There's too much lies in Nigeria. Falsehood. The former deputy governor of Lagos State. Only Nigerian problem, God's anger, corruption. Some of you don't even know the amount of money that have been stolen out. Egbonti British is so Iburi, 100 million pounds. The value of these, money. These are big money. Long sorry, big money. But understand the so and to buy new channel and sorrow the our backup channel. Let me just show you again. You can type it there. It's KOIKIMEDIA TV. So just in case, we always want to make sure. It's not doing very well at all. Akeredolu is very sick. No, for not affair. That's all I can say. So, no, not this one. Why is it not coming up? I don't want you, Yahweh, Yadaguru, Yaoshi, Yabon bastard. Tifibale no we're Odojo, bomb bastard. Where is our page? Oh, so hello, and to subscribe. Hello, subscribe. Hello, they too difficult to pick. All right, let me do something. To show anything. Oh my God! Remind me later. Can I take off from KOIKIMEDIA TV? Yeah. All right, Mamba. Let me do something. That's our full page. Let me bring it up here. Okay, tell already TikToker. So again, I'm page and I'll post this in the comment section. We only have 178 subscribers. I don't know why people are not going there too. And there's few things that you can watch there all the time. So they can go ask me by then just in the comment section. Yoruba Nation, the Faber call. Not going back in it. So that's the link. That's the link there. So now let's open the link here. Let's open it here. Kí wọ́n náà lè rí bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ ní gbogbo àgbáyé. Máa sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa dà o. Ṣorí airport ló kàn lélẹ̀. Ìwọ náà máa gbá owó eré. Ṣorí airport ló kàn lélẹ̀. Local airport lásán lélẹ̀ o. This is just a local airport. Tí yàn kàn máa sáré epo fi travel. Any correspondent all over the place. There's still more videos coming up. So the page itself is there. That is the page. For those of you that are probably looking for that page. So page in Lele. Eba lo síbẹ̀ ní sìn. Egbowole keba wa ṣe kíni. Keba wa subscribe síbẹ̀. Ẹ lọ gbọ́wọ́ sí. Egbowole link yẹn. There's a couple of videos there that we posted. We have only 178 subscribers. So Elosibek Elogbowole. So we will not wait another Shori airport. Sorry. Emaji akunile ni tewa ti je ka kúrò ní Nigeria Ọlọ́run kò ṣeré. We not want. Show like a view guy. With development. Shori bó ṣe rí. In tan so ni Shori gbogbo development. Ní báyìí ni gbogbo bí Shori gbogbo tó ń wò yìí. Ma fi pen ṣòro gbogbo tó ń wò nísìn gbogbo tó ń wò tí plane fi wà lókè yẹn gbogbo bíbá yẹn nísìn development ni ṣòrí in terms of ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé nìyẹn ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok mo lè fi wọ̀nyí because TikTok wàhálà ẹ̀ pọ̀ gan mo mọ orí tọ̀dọ̀ tí wọ́n yẹn wàhálà TikTok ti pọ̀ jù so let me kí ṣe lè díẹ̀ kí tó máa lọ so ká kọ̀ fún yín ní different okay, so let me move this laptop back. Every time we're telling you guys that this country, thank you Nigeria, just like this here. So, ojoojúmọ́ ni mo sọ fún yín pé àgbákò ni. So, then to lọ fi video mi wọ̀n. Ká tó lọ sí another page. Ká tó lọ wo another video. À ń sọ fún yín pé Nigeria ò ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹ máa nírọ́ láǹpa. Sorry, local flight they late on you. Correspondents were to send us in me. Or any can travel locally new torí kò fi lọ́wọ́ coach, kò dẹ̀ fi lọ́wọ́ locally, you understand? This is why we are saying that, you know, jẹ́ ká kúrò nínú ràtìràtì. Ó yẹ kí wọn náà lè sọ pé fẹ́ travel láti Ondo kó kó lọ board the plane, you understand? Ó ní láti stress ara ẹ̀, you know, just board the plane and you know, and tó bá dẹ̀ fi wọ coach àbí ẹni tó bá fẹ́ drive, you know, gbogbo kíní kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó le. But what they've done in Nigeria is they've made poverty. So what to create poverty here to the extent that àwọn èèyàn kan máa ń zoom pé intan sọ yẹn pé kò possible. You know, ìwọ náà wo àwọn kan ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kàn mí pẹ́ lélẹ̀ ó jágbajàgba lọ́jà rẹ̀. Let's go back. Ní kàn mí pẹ́ lélẹ̀ one bastard. That will another video. You know, so all the time we try to tell you, Shori, then show a lay fún ẹ, then close the lay. Correspondent to our canal lay láti Dubai, wo Dubai airport. Wo Dubai airport bó ṣe rí tó lè fi rest.
Good morning. This is Dubai International Airport. As you can see, those are people waiting on transit.
And to connect.
So when you see things like this, you can only imagine. Probably their flight is still a long one. So that's why they're all taking a nap or probably a very deep sleep. Anyway, this is Abiola reporting for KOIKIMEDIA live Dubai International Airport.
Wọ́n náà wòran. Ẹgbọ́n táwọn sọ fẹ́yìn tẹ wà ń lé ní ẹ máa ní ká ṣọ́tọ̀. Ẹ máa ní ká ṣọ́tọ̀ tí wò lẹ́ǹkan sí. 29 million people don't fly nínú airport yẹn ní nígbà tí mo lọ wo breakdown ẹ̀. 29 million people don't gbàbẹ̀ kọjá. Láàrẹ̀ náà làwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó máa travel gbàbẹ̀ kọjá torí pé ní airport tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa. So o máa láti gbàbẹ̀ yẹn kọjá, especially wọ́n tó bá ti wọ Emirates. So bóde ẹ̀ kó ṣe rí náà at least international airport lélẹ̀ èyí tí mo fi wọ̀n lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn local airport nìyẹn. Ṣé wọ́n lè sọ fún yàn pé local airport lélẹ̀? Ṣé local airport lélẹ̀ yìí o? Local lélẹ̀ tẹ́ ń wò yìí o? This is a local airport. Sorry bóyá busy. Sorry bóyá busy pa. Local airport ló ń wò yìí. Kí ló dé? Torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn fly wọnú ìlú yẹn. A dẹ̀ ń sọ fún yín pé gbogbo táwọn ń rí lélẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́. Ta fi ń sọ fún àwọn èèyàn pé ẹja bọ́lẹ̀ nínú jàgbàjántì tá kóra wa síta náà wọ́n nínú country sínú country Ọlọ́run sínú country rárá. Ní ọ̀kan wá sọ fún yín pé ẹ wà ní country irọ́ ló ń pa. Wọ́n náà wò sórí pé plane yẹn nìyẹn plane tó ń tẹ́ ni ẹ máa bá travel sórí òun ló ń zoom sí yẹn. Local airport lélẹ́yìí o, this one no be torí àwọn staff ó ti wà níbẹ̀ fún boarding gate. Ìgbàdàn sọ fún yín nìyẹn. Lọ sóńdó nísìn gọ́ọ̀mù ẹ ló wà ní Germany ní ìlànà tọ́jú nísìn gbogbo àwọn tó ti jókòó nísìn tó fi fly àtúpadà sẹ́yìn sórí náà. This is why we are saying that let us start thinking. We have a lot of things to build. I've got to build too many places that can accommodate us. Underground train, tram, this and that, nǹkan kàdà káàkiri. Ìwọ tó yẹ kó máa ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́fọ̀t as an engineer nǹkan kàdà sórí. Local airport ló ń wò yìí. This one no be international airport, local airport. They deceive in ourselves. They say Nigeria go work. Yàtọ̀ lọ wo fídíò mi. Wo tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa. Ẹ wo tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa. Ẹ wo report yẹn táwọn tí mo wá nígbà yẹn.
Ọmọ Ibo, how much is your melon? 300. I don't ask you one question. Like how much they used to sell it before?
No standard, no nothing. Ṣé lè la fi máa jókòó tì? I need so many engineers káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Wọ́n ṣì ń refill gas báyìí. Níbi táyé dadé níṣẹ́ o. Wọ́n ṣì ń refill gas. Gas tẹ kó wọnú ilé yín.
tó ti fi the gas nísìn.
Àwọn ìpè
lóòótọ́ lódodo ó ti wálẹ̀ díẹ̀ 580 ní gáàsì tí èrò pọ̀ jù sí.
No safety, no nothing. But lana nísìn àwa ní kinní kan jẹ́ tó lọ mọ́ another video. Pé correspondent wa kan náà send kankan sí mi. These are 4K camera view. So bí a gbogbo kinní ọ̀tẹ̀ bí a kò ń pull yìí ni eléyìí tí mo ṣe níjọ́ òní lélẹ̀ orí train. Eléyìí tó wá fi travel láti Liverpool Street. Mo sọ wípé àwọn fídíò kan wà ẹ̀ níriwo lórí KOIKIMEDIA ẹ̀ máa ní láti lọ wò ní ìwà ìwọ náà wo building yẹn bó ṣe rí right ìjọ àlàáfíà làwọn fi kọ́ gbogbo bíbà wòran sórí building yẹn bó ṣe tọ̀ ṣé o mọ̀ pé àwọn kan ló máa kọ́ bíbà àwọn kan ló máa jókòó ní Ondo State ní Kogi ní Kwara àjókòó sínú ràtìràtì à ń sùn à ń jí òkè Azeez ìwọ náà wòran view láti orí bus lélẹ̀ sórí hàn ṣé gbogbo kìnìyàn kò wọ́n ẹ̀ ń ta ìsẹ̀yìn wòran no wo view yẹn bó ṣe rí no now wo space yẹn gbogbo space tí mo fi ń wọ̀n yìí nísìn wọ́n máa wọ́ndà pé ilẹ̀ mélòó gan ló ní wọn nílẹ̀ wọ́n manage tán ní gbogbo building tó bá ti pẹ́ wá dáwó wá kọ́ tí ìgbàlódé sí púpọ̀ sórí building eléyìí tẹ́ ń wò yìí eléyìí náà eléyìí tó wà mí báyìí mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé ní Liverpool Street yìí àìmọye building tó kọ́ lójú mi in the last 25 years àwọn olóde ń ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wá ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ àwọn máa control wọ èèwọ̀ wá ní òfin wọ London máa bọ̀ London lọ sí America lọ Canada nígbà tí a lè kọ́ the same thing sí gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá a ní ilẹ̀ wa lè gbé ilẹ̀ wa lè gbé ilẹ̀ tó kọ́ kìíní sí orí omi kọ́ lọ́kọ́ sí náà orí ilẹ̀ lọ́kọ́ sí ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́wà lórí TikTok I can't show you this because TikTok you are very funny gan gba ẹ ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣó ló máa ní kinní kan pọ́lé ó dà pé ojú èèyàn nìkan lòun fi máa rí kò fi máa rí any other thing and these are all the reasons in the world that we are saying that we dey suffer mute ẹ̀ kí n máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìwọ náà wòran náà wo bó ṣe ṣé bíbá yóò wù wọn náà ní wòran City of London ní bíbá yẹn rìn wọ́n ẹ̀ díẹ̀ ṣé o láìkì kan báyìí ni ṣé ìwọ fẹ́ jí láàárọ̀ kó máa wojú wíńdò nu yàrá ẹ pé ọmọ òbí wa bó ṣe fine bó tẹ̀ lówó gan sẹ̀ kínú ẹ máa dùn adé ń sọ fún yín pé bó ṣe máa work nìyẹn ẹ sọ pé no Bọ́lá Tinubu ló máa ṣe gbogbo eléyìí in the next 4 years so possible níbo ló ti fẹ́ rówó yẹn ẹni tó ti rówó fún yín ló ń jẹjẹ ló máa náà ní kọ́ lọ́ máa kọ́ ṣe fi pa àwọn investors irú gbogbo àwọn ṣàgórì tó fẹ́ kọ́ àwọn ilé ìṣe Èkó nísìn Èkó nìkan ló fẹ́ kọ́ sí because wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó bá ti kọ́ sí Èkó àwọn tó fẹ́ because Lagos is a brand on its own ṣé wọ́n tó bá kọ́ gbogbo àwọn ilé tó ń kọ́ sí big mansion yẹn ṣé wọ́n máa láǹfààní àti gbé níbẹ̀ whereas tó bá tẹ̀lé gbé nínú àwọn ilé probability wá pé wà ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ wọ́n náà máa wòran wo view yẹn bó ṣe bad ìṣojú mi lọ ṣe kọ́ gbogbo bíbà agency kan wà ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ bíbà mo bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ rí ní on the left níbi side bíbà building ten rí ẹ wo left building yìí eléyìí tá bá lọ síwájú díẹ̀ sí agency kan wà nísàlẹ̀ ẹ̀gbẹ́ ibíbà gangan níbi tí bus stop yìí wà ní bí i 20 years ago agency kan ń bẹ ní side bíbà àwọn tó bá mọ London dáadáa agency yẹn fáwọn àtàṣiṣẹ́ ní hospitality ni o wọ́n ti dáwó wọ́n tuntun kọ́ wọ́n kọ́ ìwọ náà wá wo gbogbo tó kọ́ sí bíbá nísìn béèrè pé ní space wo lọ́ fi kọ́ wo gbogbo space náà bó ṣe rí ṣe pé tí bá ń ṣe fídíò máa lọ́kè máa dá padà wá sísá ìṣojú mi lọ́ ṣe kọ́ bíbá kí lọ́ ṣe kọ́ wòran bíbá ìṣojú mi lọ́ ṣe kọ́ ṣorin mo tún dá padà mo dá kámẹ́rà yẹn padà wá sísàlẹ̀ náà wá wo títì yẹn wo space yẹn wọ́n máa béèrè pé báwo lọ́ ṣe kọ́ gbogbo kíní ìṣẹ́gbẹ̀ bíbá àwọn jókòó síbi ìdíre ìṣáná rẹ̀ à ń gbọ́n kan èèyàn wá ra ilẹ̀ olùfẹ́ra ilẹ̀ tó ní develop in another 40 years ilẹ̀ tó ní develop in another 40 years ẹ lọ́n rà ilẹ̀ tí kò èèyàn kan ní Koiki you too funny thank you so much nǹkan ilẹ̀ tẹ lọ́n rà tó ní develop ní káwọn ará lẹ̀ ọlọ́run àìkú ló lọ́ọ́ ra lẹ̀ sí Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ìjọ ni Ìjẹ̀bú Òde fẹ́ develop Olúwa ti kúkú dé kó tó develop ìyẹn lọ́ọ́ ra lẹ̀ sí Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ìjọ ló ìyẹn lẹ́sẹ̀ máa ráwọn létí Fúlàní máa wọlé tó máa jí gbé tó máa pa yín dànù máa gbé yín lọ ìyẹn lọ́ọ́ ra lẹ̀ sí Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ìjọ ni mo mọ̀ tó fẹ́ develop tí mo fẹ́ lọ́ọ́ ra lẹ̀ sí Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ìjọ lèmi mọ̀ tó fẹ́ develop ìwọ náà máa wòran máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ pé Kóìkì náà ṣé gbogbo títì yẹn náà kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ títì tó ń wò yìí ní London náà ló ń wò yìí London ló ń wò náà kí ló tún fẹ́ máa kí ló tún wá kiri mo ń fi London wò tún béèrè pé ṣé London lélẹ̀ London náà ló ń wò yẹn kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ no London náà ló ti ń wò yìí o ṣáà ráwọn èèyàn funfun àbó rẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn funfun o ṣáà ráwọn èèyàn funfun tó ń lọ rẹ̀ ráwọn èèyàn dúdú diesel man 2-3 I need $5 trillion tá a bá máa develop ilẹ̀ Yorùbá a dẹ̀ ti gba nation wa so ìjọ́ wo la fẹ́ develop ẹ̀ inú ẹ̀ náà lọ tuntun fẹ́ kọ́ ilé nísìn sórí pé wọ́n block ibẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n ti ṣe pavement tó bá yá nísìn láàárín ẹ̀ náà lọ ń kọ́ gbogbo àwọn building ni o wọ́n block títì díẹ̀ ìyàn mi pé mọ́tò ní kọjá ìyàn kan wá náà ń kọ́lé ilé ń dàwó sórí pé mo máa ń sórí pé tí bá ń ṣe fídíò máa dá padà sẹ́yìn because mo fẹ́ kẹ́ rí the landscape view máa tún sún síwájú ìwọ máa monitor tó bá ń rí fídíò mi so gbogbo àwọn fídíò báyìí ò ní rí lórí Koiki Media àwọn fídíò kan wà orí Koiki Media TV lẹ ti máa rí sórí ràn sórí pé mo tún dá padà sórí pé mo tún gbé lọ sí 360 mo kí Bishop Adesina no sórí gbogbo bíbà tó ń wò yìí àníṣojú mi lọ ṣe kọ mo ṣiṣẹ́ ní big club kan ní ọmọ oúnjẹ ló máa ń tà ní ọkọ inú industry tí mo ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn further down ká tó dé níbi tí Santander wà àwọn tó mọ London dáadáa máa mọ gbogbo bíbà láwọn ìyá wa máa ti wá ń rajà wọ́n ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ bíbà tí mo ṣó yìí ló ń pè ní Liverpool Street kò ń ṣe Liverpool outside London no máa mix it together torí pé tó bá ń gbọ́ Liverpool kò má rò pé Liverpool outside London tí àwọn football ń play no Liverpool Street lọ bèrè ọwọ́ àwọn gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà àwọn parents yìí pé ibo ni wọ́n pè pé Kóìkì níbi kan pè ní Liverpool Street ibẹ̀ lọ ti máa ń ra léèsì tá máa ń tà káàkiri gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa ní Nàìjíríà sórí pé mo tún dá padà wá sísàlẹ̀ inú ẹ̀ náà ni bọ́ọ̀sì yìí ti ń rìn kò dàwó kò ṣubú àbámọ̀ ní we are the biggest bitumen in the world a ní bitumen tó tóbi bitumen tó ṣìwò lẹ́ni bitumen tẹ́ fi develop gbogbo títì yìí tó ń pa yín lójoojúmọ́ sórí wọ́n ti fi sí 20 ó gbọ́dọ̀ drive ju more than 20 lọ tó bá drive more than 20 wá sanwó kámẹ́rà ó wà káàkiri mo rí àwọn Ifáyìnbá ó náà máa ṣe CCTV sílẹ̀ Ìgbò mo ní ṣe níbi tí kò sí ná olòṣì àmọ́ ẹ rántí pé ní Lagos State náà kọ́ ló ń fi diesel lọ fi ń run ní street light yìí báwo ni ẹ ṣe fẹ́ wà viable nígbà tó wá ń fi diesel tó fi ń run street light mad people all over the place inú ẹ̀ ní bọ́ọ̀sì yìí máa kọjá sórí pé mo tún zoom ẹ̀ padà sẹ́yìn níbi báyìí ní sọ́n sọ pé o lè turn right tó bá turn right kámẹ́rà máa mú ẹ sórí inú ẹ̀ náà ní sórí pé bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn dúró níbẹ̀ yẹn sórí pé ó dúró táwọn èèyàn kọjá láàrin bíbáyìí náà ni ó sórí pé bọ́ọ̀sì kan tún fẹ́ jáde ní bíbáyìí ìyẹn ti park àwọn bọ́ọ̀sì sórí pé mo tún capture bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn dáadáa sórí pé mo tún mú sálẹ̀ màá tún mú lọ sókè because mo fẹ́ kó rí dáadáa náà ni sórí pé wàá máa sórí pé kámẹ́rà nìyẹn sórí bó ṣe pọ̀ sórí pé mẹ́rin lélẹ̀ 1 2 3 4 kámẹ́rà àwọn tó ní èèyàn lè drive mọ́tò ó ní standard mọ́tò tó lè gbé lọ sí Central London tí mọ́tò ọba ti ní particular age wàá máa san £12 every day tó bá fipò lè máa san fine but nígbà tó bá multiply 12 times 7 tó mú lọ sí 30 days tó mú lọ sí 1 year ó máa sá òní lọ sí títì láti lọ gbé mọ́tò ẹ̀ lọ síbẹ̀ mọ́tò tó ẹ̀yin kàn breed ẹ̀ kàn breed oríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ mọ̀ pé mapping lásán gan business lásán nìyẹn lọ́jọ́ iwájú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó máa map everywhere tí bá ṣe Google search ó máa fún mi ní the same location yìí mo ń bọ̀ jẹ́ a lọ ṣe nǹkan kan jẹ́ lọ sí Liverpool Street èèyàn kan wọ́n sọ pé òun gba country níbo ló gbà sí country lẹ́fí ń ṣeré yẹn Liverpool Street ká lọ wo Google map ẹ̀ mapping sórí bó ṣe rọra gbé jáde no sórí bó ṣe gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ jáde títì tí mò ń drive kọjá tí mo wà lórí ẹ̀ òun ni bíbà òun lélẹ̀ òun ni títì long road tó ń rí now tí bá ní kó fún mi ní image yẹn nísìn mò ń bọ̀ fún mi ní satellite view nǹkan wá náà gba country lórí Yorùbá Nation ló gbà sí yẹ kó máa tàn yín ṣòrí nísìn títì tèmi ń drive tí bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn ń lọ lórí ẹ̀ òun lélẹ̀ tí bá zoom in dáadáa nísìn ń bọ̀ ṣòrí gbogbo tá à ń sọ lélẹ̀ yìí mapping tó máa rí gbogbo nǹkan bó ṣe ń lọ látòkè ṣòrí station yẹn lélẹ̀ I think so yeah àwọn sọ fún yín a ní kẹ́ ṣe sùúrù kí gbogbo akájọ dáwọ́ bò ní kíákíá kólúkálukú lè rí iṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ ká lè kólúkálukú lè rí tiẹ̀ jẹ́ níbẹ̀ tá a bá ti gba Yorùbá Nation ṣe rò pé ilé tá à ń ṣe ni a máa fi jẹun ni ẹ̀yin olùṣe a ní ká gba country kémi náà lè tètè máa rówó ṣe ká máa rí business ṣe ká máa rí gbogbo kan ṣe nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti ṣiṣẹ́ ní London ẹ̀yin olùṣe ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀dá kọ̀ọ̀kan mọ̀ ẹ̀yin kẹ́ má ṣe pé fún yín èpè lẹ́ má gbà lẹ́nu mi ń bọ̀ mo fi lọ sí so n tí mo fi ń wọ̀nyí nísìn mo ń bọ̀ mo rí lè mọ bó ṣe ń lo kíní gbogbo kíní mo ń bọ̀ ẹ̀ ń padà sẹ́yìn díẹ̀ ẹ̀ á ń sọ fún yín pé gbogbo nǹkan ló ní system tó fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ Liverpool Street Station lélẹ̀ ṣòrí mapping ẹ̀bọ́n ni Google ló fi ń jẹun everything ti wà lórí mapping yàtọ̀ máa parọ́ fún yín ìlú gbogbo tí máa fi wọ̀nyí nìyẹn ṣòrí ti ṣí òdi ẹ̀ èmi dẹ̀ fún yín ní authentic one lójoojúmọ́ á padà báyìí ṣòrí bó ṣe rí wọ́n ká máa lọ lẹ́jà rè làwọn commission ìwọ náà wò ṣòrí pé mo tún dá kámẹ́rà yẹn padà sẹ́yìn mo tún zoom ẹ̀ láàrin ẹ̀ náà ní bicycle máa kọjá because ó ní right of way ọ̀bí bọ́ọ̀sì ẹ̀dá ó máa dúró gbogbo building ojú mi lọ fi kọ́ in the last 20 years inú ìlú yìí náà ni mo wà tó ń kọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ ọ̀ǹdàwó wọn á kọ́ àwọn míì ti wà tipẹ́ ńbẹ̀ irú ilé ìnísìn ti wà tipẹ́ ní ráùndì yìí inú ẹ̀ náà lọ ti máa ń ṣe àwọn múfì tẹ́ ń wò yẹn gbogbo àwọn American film tẹ́ ń wò yẹn gbogbo àwọn building lọ máa ń lò oríṣiríṣi kan seminar conference different things lórí bicycle lane yẹn no wo títì yẹn nísìn ìwọ náà wo títì nísìn tó mọ̀ pé táwa bá ṣe fẹ́ kọ́ tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa àwa lè ṣe ní 3 lane àwọn eléyìí ò ní space mọ́ UK ò ní space mọ́ everything ó ti wà choke àwa sì lè kọ́ 3 lane 4 lane tó dẹ̀ máa ní bicycle ṣẹ́tẹ̀ ní walkway ní Nàìjíríà ṣọ́tẹ̀ mọ́ tó ń pè ní walkway ṣẹ́ ní walkway téèyàn lè kọjá sí téèyàn kọ́ máa rìn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ báwọn ilé ṣe ń rìn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ títì olúwa àwọn tó ń rìn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ títì ọlọ́kadà olùṣe àwọn ọlọ́kadà yẹn wá kọ́ máa gúnrí pavement wá fi gbáyàn no right of way torí náà mo bọ́lẹ̀ níbẹ̀ yẹn ni yẹ tó fún ẹ lọ́nà that view yẹ tó wá lọ wo ilé nísìn another angle tó lélẹ̀ ṣòrí nísìn wọ́n máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ pé ọmọ Kóìkì so gbogbo àwọn títì London yìí kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ sẹ́ẹ̀ bó ṣe rí náà lọ rí yẹn kò jù báyìí náà lọ it's as simple as that but until our people get the message ṣòrí bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn máa jáde nínú lórí so ẹ lọ subscribe sórí KOIKIMEDIA TV yẹn iná ilẹ̀ tí mo máa rí gbogbo àwọn fídíò bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wò torí ànílé post ẹ̀ sórí KOIKIMEDIA so different videos àwọn fídíò kan wà tí à ń project lọ́wọ́ nísìn crime náà máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú yìí bọ̀bọ́ yìí ó stàbèèyàn ṣòrí adúrú ọlọ́pàá tó wà níbẹ̀ this happens yẹn kan náà ló correspondent wọn kan náà ló send mo ní correspondent káàkiri o I send the short video sí mi ṣòrí ambulance ọlọ́pàá ṣòrí ọtí tape everywhere no dey joke wọ́n ti ń gbé ẹni ẹ lọ ti gbé sínú mọ́tò yẹn nísìn ẹni yẹn stab èèyàn ni wọ́n ti mú òun sí inú mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá yìí wọ́n ti mú sínú mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá yìí so ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ nílé ìrìn tí mo fi ń show yẹn so ẹni tó bá ti subscribe ẹ lọ subscribe sórí ẹ mo ti post the link yẹn lọ subscribe because this is where you will be seeing all these short videos that we are posting kò ní ju 10 minutes náà lọ less than 10 minutes or 10 minutes so Elédùmarè wà pẹ̀lú wa. BT Tower lílé. Very beautiful. Ibi báyìí ló máa ń ṣe oríṣiríṣi announcement. Táwọn ọmọ bá bímọ, ibà ló ti máa sọ orúkọ wọn. Bí obìnrin ni, bí ọkùnrin ni. It's called the BT Tower, Central London. A sọ pé good morning, sori good morning. Àwa náà máa ní irú nǹkan bá ní ẹ káàárọ̀, a máa rí láràárọ̀ tó bá ń lọ sínú city. Sori good morning London. Ìyẹn everybody ṣe fẹ́ wá sí London now. You know, ìyẹn everybody ṣe fẹ́ takó wá sí London. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ orí visa gbà. Oh, I must sorrow later. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a very good morning. Bye for now. Àpadà wá ní alẹ́ tàbí ìrọ̀lẹ́. So, kí n lọ wá nǹkan jẹ, kí n lọ relax there. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí odò agbéwà kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Aziz, èèyàn ti Koiki, láàbà wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Thank you so much. Ọlánìpẹ̀kun, my brother. Thank you. One love, one love, one love. Mo kí àwọn media tó wà lábẹ́ ètò náà. Àníri jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn olólùfẹ́ wa. Yorùbá nation has come to stay. Èmi ni màá ṣí máìndì kúrò lára Nàìjíríà. Bye for now.